Hi guys, Tech James here. In this video, I will show you guys how to get the ePSXe PlayStation 1 emulator working on your Windows 10 computer. Now this should also work on Windows 7 and 8. So all you guys will need for this video is some kind of controller. I will be using an Xbox 360 controller, and I've actually got it plugged in right now. If I open up my control panel and go to View Devices and Printers, you can see that my Xbox 360 controller is plugged in and the drivers are installed. So next, you want to go to the link in the description. It will be a Google Drive link, and all you want to do is just click the blue download button. Now once your zip file has finished downloading, all you want to do is just head over to your PC's downloads folder. Now once in here, I've also got my PlayStation 1 game. I got Silent Hill, and it's got a U because it is an American ISO. So what I'm going to do with my game, it's currently in a zip file. I'm going to right click and select extract here. It's then just going to put it in its own file folder, but let's just give this a few seconds just to finish extracting. So once it has finished, we can delete the zip folder because we don't need that anymore. And if you double click on the file folder, we need the PS1 game in this format. We need to have a bin file and a Q file. We need both of these for the game to work. Back to my downloads folder, we want to get the ePSXe emulator, right click it, and then just select extract to, and it will extract it into a file folder for you. Now this again could take a couple of minutes, so just leave it for 5 minutes and then I'll be back when it's done. Once it's done, we can delete the zip file because we don't need that anymore, and we want to get our game and just drag it into the folder. Double click to go onto the folder, locate our game and drag it into the games folder. Next, we want to scroll down and double click on the ePSXe.exe, and it should have application at the end if you don't have file extensions enabled. So just double click on this and the emulator will load up. So now we're going to set up my controller. We're going to go to Config, Plugins, Import Port 1. Make sure this one is selected, ePSXe Input Core 2.0.0, and then we're just going to click Configure. This is going to bring up our controller. Now it should be detected by our keyboard. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on clear. We're then just going to click on each thing, and with our Xbox controller, we just need to press the button. So let's just start pressing all the buttons now to match it up with the original PlayStation 1 controller. Now keep in mind this is the original version, so this does not have analog sticks. But let's just set this up real quick. Now we need to do select, start, these two buttons. And now for triangle, we're going to use Y. Circle, we can use B. For X, we can use A. And then for square, we can use X. So once it's looking like that, you can enable rumble if you wish to, but we are just going to click on OK. Now we're just going to click on OK again. Now we need to go back up to Configure, Plugins, and Video. On the Configure tab, we need to select this driver here, Pete's OpenGL2 driver 2.9. So just look for it on the list here and then select it. Now just click on Configure. Now you need to set this up exactly the same as me if you want it to work. You can customize these settings a bit. You can choose your desktop resolution if you want it in full screen. I'm going to keep mine in windowed mode, just small, so I can show you what it looks like for this video. Keep these on high. Make sure use FPS limit is ticked, and in FPS limit, make sure you enter 60.00, and make sure the MDEC filter is turned on. Now you can click on OK, click on OK again. Go up to options, go to CPU overclocking, and make sure X1 is enabled. Next, go back onto config and then scroll down and go to BIOS. Here we need to select our BIOS. Now we need to select our BIOS depending on the game. If you're in the emulator folder, you need to go into the BIOSes folder, and you need to select the BIOS that matches your game. So my game is a U BIOS, which means American. So I'm going to use this US BIOS right here, which is SCPH1001, and just click on OK. Now make sure this is enabled, enable HLE BIOS, and just click on OK. Now it's time to see if our game works. Let's go up to File, Run ISO. Now we need to locate the Games folder, which is right here. Double click again, and we need to open the Q file. So there you go guys, Silent Hill working, and it's got working sound as well. The sound is pretty good. So let's just start a quick game and I'll prove to you guys it works. I'm using this with an Xbox 360 controller. You can use, of course, an controller of your choice. It's entirely up to you. And the games run perfectly fine. The graphics is very good. There's no real FPS issues or anything. This can pretty much run on any decent computer, or it doesn't even have to be decent. Even if it has like an i5, maybe even an i3, it should run completely fine. So that is pretty much it for this video. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.